Okay, we live. Hey everybody, Black Think Tank back again. It's been a while, but I had to make this video. I know I'm a little late to the party, but Kevin Samuels, the legendary Kevin Samuels, has passed away, and I wanted to talk about his legacy, his message, as well as the red flags in his death, and the story behind his how he died, and those that are involved. Um, well, starting off, I got my guests here. Jazzy's here, and I wanted to talk about the legacy of Kevin Samuels. Like, he sort of he came about in the last couple of years with the average at best, the infamous average at best video, which went viral, making Kevin Samuels a pretty much a mainstream star from then on. Um, he seemed to have a lot of, let's say, critics. But tell me, what's some of the things that you think about his message?
I thought his message was good. I don't agree with everything that he says, but for the most part, it was pretty. His message is pretty accurate. His goals were, in the right place. My only criticism at the beginning was, of course, how he talked to people. I guess coming from my background, I'm a little different than that, but understanding the scope of social media, I understood how that worked and how it worked in his favor.
Okay, a lot of people often say that his tone was a big problem, but like I say, I think Sherazade Ali, she did this about 30 years ago. She had this a similar message, that because that's kind of like Kevin Samuels' inspiration when you think about it. Um, Kevin Samuels, he's doing what Sherazade Ali did, and she's a black woman. She had a lot of flack for what she did. They made little comedic little skits about her with in like in living color and stuff like that. They ran that woman through the mud. She
But
came.
Samuels would never tell people to be smacking up women and crap. He wouldn't say, he wouldn't say no crap like
Yeah, he
that.
ain't say nothing like that though. Yeah, that's the only thing. Yeah, he didn't say nothing like that though. But yeah, but the thing is that, like, you see the reaction, it's kind of similar, but I think it was a little bit more hostile towards the Kevin Samuels, because because it's coming from a black man. I think, like, a lot of the criticism, because he did speak often a lot about, like, the black women and some of the things that black women do for, like, he kept a lot of black women uh responsible for the actions and stuff like that, and some of the cultural norms that often get overlooked in the black community. But I see, like,
He held men responsible too, and that's popular.
yes, he did. But the thing was, I think, because for black men, we always been critiqued as black men since we've been here. We've been like under the magnifying glass. We've been examined. We all those things. That's been ingrained in us culturally for us to take criticism and then adjust accordingly. So I think when the black men came to a show to get that criticism, it was taken with, like, the wise words of an elder, that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of black men didn't take too much offense to it, when he did. But one thing I will say,
Well, I
yeah,
don't
good.
agree with calling people fat MFs when he's done that to both men and women.
Well, yeah, I guess sometimes you gotta have a little, little inspiration, some little comedic humor sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But he was a master at that with the little sound effects. I give him that. I gotta learn how to do that myself. But he was a master at that. But the thing is, we have, as a black community, we do have a lot of problems, and he was the first time I ever heard of an image consultant, honestly. And I learned the value of image, and also I will say this: he was one of the few manosphere or black manosphere people that was advocating for marriage in the black community. When you think about it, um, name another manosphere or black manosphere person that's one of the top manosphere people who has been promoting marriage for black men to black women, especially foundational black American men and foundational black American women. So that's very interesting because he kind of made it popular again, to get married. Because I got married, what I'm saying, from inspiration of Kevin Samuels over the last couple of months. So it's like, hey, he's bringing another whole message to the table. I feel like maybe that was kind of a threat to society, to society structures in some way. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
But let's kind of jump into some of these into like some of the stuff going on with Kevin Samuels, the red flags and the conspiracy behind Kevin Samuels' death. Now the story is that he was with a traveling nurse or something like that. She's a traveling nurse, from what I've heard. And he met her at the bar or something like that. They linked up. Well, they linked up at the bar, and they went back home, and he died on top of her. Put it like that. And there's a 911 call. It's a police report, and apparently the lady told the police that this was her first time meeting in person Kevin Samuels. According later on, Kevin Samuels' family's spokesperson, one of his YouTube buddies, became a spokesperson for the family, to the public, and he made a statement that this girl apparently her brothers knew Kevin Samuels, and that she met his mother and his sister, and his daughter, and all these things like this. And I'm asking myself, wait a minute, how did she meet all these people here? Yet she tells the police this is her first time meeting the guy.
Well, they said that he had been talking to her, on FaceTime, and it was long distance type of thing.
And that's the thing, too, because from one thing that's really bothered me as well is that I'm noticing a lot of Kevin Samuels' YouTube buddies. No offense to them, I like many of them. I like many of them. But I see they being a lot more defensive of this woman, this nurse that was the last person known to be with Kevin Samuels. They seem very defensive. And the thing is about the online dating thing is that, as we know from the shows like Catfish, that people can talk online for years. They can talk online for many, many years, and they can come up with a whole persona and everything. And then all it takes is that one day they come out, hey, I'm not Chris Brown. I'm this nigga over here. So yeah, so they can people can fake a funk on online when it comes to that. And some people say like, hey, he did a background investigation on the girl, and I'm like, come on now. If he never met the girl, I don't care what type of background investigation you do. The same amount of background investigation that he can do is the same stuff we can do on the same chick. It's no different.
Well,
so yeah, go ahead.
Well, here's my thing. Obviously, even if he was talking to her for a long time, he clearly knew her at some way, somehow, and he let her into his apartment. What I don't understand is how this man just randomly dies.
Right.
After meeting this woman. However he met her. That is suspect. And I wish that people wouldn't just throw it under the rug and chop it up to chance. Like, no, like this deserves to be looked into. At least just by a little bit. But it seems like nobody's interested in doing that. So
yeah, and it's unfortunate. Especially, I would think you would have a more critical third eye open from his YouTube buddies.
Because if it was a female, it would have definitely been looked into.
Exactly. Exactly.
And met this guy and then just suddenly dies.
Exactly. Well, I will say, except for that little case with that black girl who was dating that little white guy, the little crazy ass white guy, they kind of dismissed it. The family was like, hey, that guy's a suspect. And the police was like, nah, he a good dude. You remember that? You remember that guy?
Yeah, but they still are trying to figure out what's going on though. And nobody just dropped that. Like his family that girl's family is trying to figure out what happened.
Yeah, that girl's family trying to figure out what happened. I think what's unfortunate is that Kevin Samuels, I think only people that he has really family wise is maybe some aunts, but I think some of them might pass away as well. But he has his mother and he has, I believe, a daughter, which is, I believe, might be a stepdaughter or something like that. I'm not quite sure, but because she's been a mystery. He kept her a mystery as well, but so he doesn't really have a lot of other family members that really are out there on social media to even vent their concerns or anything like that. So if even if the family was concerned, there's no way for the rest of us to know about it, because we don't know who his families are. And besides, ever since he's died, we had a fake daughter come out as well, trying to demonize him as well. A fake daughter came out, did a story, and she got exposed. Some other chick said that she was a daughter, tried to do a GoFundMe, and it's a lot of people coming out that they're fake. And one of the things I want to show is about this nurse was that in all of Kevin Samuels' Instagram live videos, what a coincidence! The first time we see Kevin Samuels showing off, the first time we see Kevin Samuels arguing with one of the chicks that he's been messing with, because he's always been known to be having women around, like in his interviews, but they just don't be on camera. He kept them their private life secret, like, you know what I'm saying, to keep them away from the spotlight. But what a coincidence! The one time that he's seen arguing with one of his chicks that he's talking to, she also happens to show herself. We see a glimpse of her hand in the Instagram live video as well. As one of the angles of the Instagram live, the last Instagram live video that Kevin Samuels did. It seemed like a strange coincidence. To me, I took that as kind of like she's kind of low-key signaling to somebody who's watching, perhaps, that, hey, I'm there. You know what I mean?
And, like I said, I don't think Kevin Samuels is the type to argue with somebody like that, especially another female, because he didn't allow that on his live streams. So why allow that in his personal space? But that's a red flag in my opinion, because why was he having to ask her so many times to go away? Why was he asking her so many times? And she was pretty much being combative, right? Which is something that he did not like other women to do on his show, but he allowed that girl to do it. So it's a little weird.
Yeah, I'm gonna show this video. Somebody did what's the Street Crime Files. I'm gonna give them a shout out here for the video here. Kevin Samuels arguing with this chick. I'm trying to protect you. And I don't know if he has. Let's see. Let's fast forward a little bit. I don't know if he has the video where the part of the video where the lady shows her hand.
And everything else. They don't have a cookbook, but they damn sure do have a dog. All right. What is the one thing you tend to hear?
Yeah, I don't know if that, but I'm just gonna go from there. Let me get him back. Okay.
Yeah, I just wish people, especially people that was close to him.
Now another thing is that I'm seeing a lot of people took the 911 call. So apparently, all 911 calls are recorded as well. They recorded, and that's how we found out about this, because somebody took a screenshot of the dispatcher sending a message or something in a police report, and they posted on social media. That's how we found out on social media that he died, and he got a lot of negative attention from that too. That I want to talk about later.
I didn't believe it at first, but
say that again.
I said I didn't believe it at first that he had died.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't believe it at first. We was asking around trying to get some confirmation, but the somebody leaked that for one thing. That's another red flag. But then eventually we see the police report. That's how we found out that the woman, according to her own words, this was her first time meeting Kevin Samuels in person. And on top of that, we saw the 911 call. In the 911 call, one of the things I noticed was from some of the YouTube buddies, from Kevin Samuels YouTube buddies, in their videos about this. It seems like people took the sentiments of from the video, made it seem like this woman here was like it was as if nobody can fake a 911 call. That's how I took it. And it was a lot of red flags in that 911 call as well. Such as go ahead.
Yeah, like how she was supposed to be giving CPR, but I didn't I guess they didn't. I didn't hear that part, but I didn't. It didn't sound like anybody was really tending to him, and she didn't know the apartment number or anything. She didn't know anything.
Yeah, and that was a big red flag. That this chick, and one of the things I noticed in the 911 call was that she seems like she's
Distraught.
yeah, she's doing that, but she seems kind of like she's intentionally saying key words that people looking at it later on will pick up on. You know, like, hey, this is Kevin Samuels. You know, it was like, you know, this is Kevin fucking Samuels or some shit she said like that to the dispatcher. I'm like, why would she say that to the dispatcher as if the dispatcher is supposed to know Kevin Samuels first of all, or better yet, supposed to have any better understanding of where he's at because you gave him a name. Like, I'm like, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That just this seems off. And then on top of that, this person's supposed to be a nurse, and I'm thinking the whole time, I'm like, hold up, why aren't you doing chest compressions and breaths for CPR if you're saying that this man is going out and his cardiac rhythm is going haywire? Why aren't you doing CPR? And many people has just taken this woman's word at face value. I'm like, this woman is not doing no damn CPR.
I think a red flag for me is that she's hiding so much. Like, if you're a real genuine person and you really, I mean, let me put it this way. If it was me and I genuinely tried to do everything that I could, I would literally come out and say that. Give the story, the event from start to finish, detail by detail about what happened. But this lady's doing the opposite. She's hiding, threatening to sue people. I mean, what's the big deal? If everything went down the way that you said it did, what's wrong with confirming that?
Let me play this little audio from this TMZ on the woman that the 911 call. Let me see if I can play this.
Okay, is this a house or apartment? Oh my god, I don't fucking know. You don't know if it's a house or apartment? Oh, it's an apartment. Okay, what's the apartment number? I know. I just need to give him CPR. Just please, just ask the person. You need an ambulance? Yes. Okay. Are you listening? No, ma'am. I have to connect you with the ambulance. It's Kevin fucking Samuels. I understand, but I have to connect you with the ambulance. Are you okay? What's the address of your emergency? Is he awake? No, he has an irregular rhythm. I can feel it.
Yeah, no, it's Kevin fucking Samuels. Like, are y'all fools falling for this crap? Are y'all falling for this crap? I mean, come on. And here's the thing: I watch enough Forensic Files, people. I'm a big ass fan of Forensic Files. I know that those medical staff people, they have access to chemicals and medicines that can easily induce cardiac arrest in people. There's a lot of stories like that. These nurses that give people stuff and they go down. You know what I'm saying? They go out.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I just catch the fact that the 911 operator asks, "You don't know if it's a house or an apartment?"
Yeah, she can't answer. Like, what the hell? Yeah. And plus, if apparently she flew out to him, so right. you got a phone, you got a phone and anything that should have a GPS in it now, modern day in our society. And plus, he probably gave you the address to meet him at. Like I said, you can easily look at your Google Maps, see where you at.
No, she could have easily just went outside the door.
Or went outside the door. And it's just and then plus, like I say, she don't seem to be under the impression that she's doing heavy CPR. One moment you hear a voice fade out as if the body's further away from the phone all of a sudden, and then she comes back into the phone's audio. So I'm like, hold up, why? We got cell phones nowadays. Why would you need to step away and shit like that? You know? And this Kevin fucking Sam. It seems like she's doing this for the phone call, and we know there's many cases of people faking a death or faking a murder and calling 911. And I'm not saying, again, this is alleged. It's alleged. This is all speculation. So, you know, because she's already talking to, I think, Dennis Merlin or some other people, trying to sue people who call her out or don't believe her story at face value. Well,
another thing that sticks out to me is that it doesn't seem like when she called 911, she told them what was needed or nothing. Usually, if you call 911, they say 911, what's your emergency, and you tell them what's going on. But the 911 operator had to ask, you know, what do you need? Do you need an ambulance? Like, it's almost like she didn't communicate with them what was going on and what she needed immediately.
And you know what? Like one of those YouTubers, I think Manosphere Highlights, something like that. He did a good video on some of this stuff. Like, I think that Kevin was a threat to the system. I think he's a threat to the system. A black man who's a Manosphere person, talking about marriage in the black community and emphasizing on building black families again. Because, you know, we know the general dominant society of white supremacy here in the United States are the main culprit of destroying black families.
Yeah.
In the last, 40 years, they destroyed black families. I'm not even say 40, 60 years. They destroyed black families. But we see a man come out and who can appeal to young black men as well as young black women too. And can get them on the same page to some extent to create black families. Like I said, this man inspired me to get married. At one point, I was like a lot of the black Manosphere people who was against the marriage, and I got married because of the inspiration I saw from the values of building a black family and the image that builds up on the character of black men as well as black people. And I feel like this man was a threat. Like somebody said, they wanted to stop the rise of a black messiah, and this man had a lot of influence in the black community. Even though you see a lot of people hating on him. Yeah, you see a lot of people hating on him, but hey, a lot of them people hating on him, a lot of them fools ain't even FBA. Let's be real.
Well, people hated on Dr. King and Malcolm X too.
Exactly. People hated Malcolm X for a long ass time. They hated Dr. Shit. It was a black person, a black woman who tried to stab Dr. King. People forgot that. They hated Dr. King.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? Back in the day. We love him today, but yeah, a lot of those Negroes that hated Dr. King back in the day. And Malcolm X. So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised that he got off. And then what's crazy is that he dies like right before he got the episode reveal of what's the show called? Atlanta, yeah, with the Childish Gambino.
Yes, I gotta watch that too. I forgot.
Yeah, like what the world? He dies right before that episode supposed to be revealed where he's in it as a special character, special guest character.
I know.
That come on, that seems like a big ass red flag. And then here we go again, like this chick, the O'Shea Duke Jackson. I said, I like him. I like a lot of Kevin Samuels YouTube buddies. I like them, even though I might disagree sometimes, especially with this situation here with the Kevin Samuels death and the conspiracy behind it. He did a video where he says that this chick called him, got his phone number from somebody who I'm assuming is Dennis, but it might be somebody else. And this chick called him to get him to make a public statement defending the chick because allegedly the DJ Academics, he done a video where it's saying that this same chick reached out to him and said that she'll do an interview with him for $5,000. I'm like, what? This woman again. This sounds like some chick that's trying to extort the situation. Like, you know, I'm like, come on now. And some people was like trying to defend that shit. Like, hey, why would a nurse who's making 6 figures a nurse? Why would she take money for $5,000? That's nothing. I'm like, are you people serious? This chick seems like a chick that goes out that's money hungry. She kind of seems like that type of person. I mean, unfortunately, a lot of ladies are, especially the ladies that Kevin talks about, who want the high value men. They want men who got money. Let's keep it real. So even if they got their own money,
I still have the same opinion. Like, why call somebody else to say that? Why can't you come out and say that yourself?
Exactly. See, so many red flags of that crap, and to see all those little this passive I don't know what to call these youngins. To see them just take this woman's words at face value, like come on, y'all don't even know this woman. And then I see some of the argument, the arguments used, like, hey, you're not a forensics person. I'm like, hey, neither are you, and you don't even know this woman. And here's the sad part of all of this. Here's the real sad part of this that I want people to understand. That when it comes to, because I had to learn this myself, because my father passed away, that the autopsy, for those thorough autopsies, like you might see on what's that, CSI Miami or whatever, one of them shows, those autopsies, those real serious thorough ones, that's not realistic. In most situations, they're gonna charge you, the family, to get an autopsy done like that. One of those real thorough autopsies, they're gonna charge you, and most people are gonna like turn that down, especially when you don't think foul play was involved. And that's another thing. When it comes to many people are waiting for that toxicology report to see, hey, maybe she poisoned him.
I don't think a toxicology report is coming, so
it's most likely not. And this is what people need to understand, because a lot of people are waiting for that crap. But here's the thing: what people need to understand: the only time the toxicology report is going to be done is if the family requests it, or the police suspect foul play. Now, here's the problem. The police don't suspect foul play. And on top of that, his family, which you got the public spokesperson like Dennis Sperling, he's apparently defending the chick. Even though they don't know the chick, he's defending the chick. So that already tells you that they don't suspect foul play, so they're not going to get a toxicology report done. So there won't be. So right now, that means that man could be buried, he could be cremated, which I'm gonna get to, because apparently the rumor is that man might have been cremated, but his body can be put under in the ground with no toxicology report done, and it will never be done. And that means that if not she did, but if this person did poison this man, nobody would know. And only thing we have is the sad teary crying eyes from the 911 call, which apparently a lot of killers have been able to fake a 911 call.
Well, my thing is this: even if there was no foul play, I think that would definitely help people understand what happened. But I think people are still trying to figure out what happened to Bob Saget.
Yeah,
because he was just randomly found dead.
Good point.
So it's just giving people, because these people have fans. People have fans, and they want to know what happened.
Exactly. So. And I think he had a big target on his head, because there is no another Kevin Samuels that's gonna come out here. Think about it. Like, can you name some other people who has that level of influence and preaching the message of black men and black women getting married and starting black families that's in the black manosphere? I mean, yeah, you might have a Boyce Watkins out there, but hey, Boyce Watkins ain't no black manosphere person. Black men don't respect Boyce Watkins. You know what I'm saying? He has no value in the eyes of black men.
Yeah. Unfortunately, today's society and culture is not geared towards that, unfortunately.
But that's what Kevin Samuels was able to change. That's the thing. Kevin Samuels was able to do that. So that's the thing. But there is no other Kevin Samuels. There's only one Kevin Samuels, and he's gone. And the fact that so many people are just turning a blind eye and taking this woman's word at face value without questioning anything. And I mean, it's just crazy to me. It's just crazy. I'm like, this woman has got more defense from these YouTuber friends of Kevin Samuels, these buddies of his, and some of these other little fools defending this chick. She has a harder defense from these niggas than Kyle Rittenhouse had from the damn judge in his case. damn, shit. Kyle Rittenhouse couldn't get a better damn defense than these fools out here who defending this chick. Like, come on, y'all try to shame people for questioning the story. I'm like,
well, this is the logic that I can inference from it. I'm assuming that those YouTubers have, they have respect for Kevin, so I guess they see it as, well, if Kevin trusted this woman, then we're gonna trust her too.
And that's not cool. You know why? Because I believe Khalid Muhammad, Dr. Khalid Muhammad. Many people might know him too. He was another like black messiah that kind of rose up to power in some ways, and was taken out. I believe he died the same way. I believe, where he was messing around with some chick that nobody else knew, and suddenly died after eating some food or some crap that they had together and shit, and had what they say, what was a brain aneurysm or some crap like that. Like come on now, it's the same. It's such an easy tactic to take out significant black leaders when you can just have some random chick off them. I'm not saying that lady did, but allegedly, it's speculative, but hey, it happened to Khalid Muhammad. What's stopping it from being done to any other black leaders out here, especially who going against the system and the shit that's been propagated to destroy black families?
Well, all I can say is, rest in peace to Kevin Samuels. I still can't believe it. I think, though, what really got me was I know people had like their disagreements, and he said stuff that was a little outlandish. And like I said, I didn't agree with everything he said either. Some things I really didn't agree with, but I would never say stuff like I've been seeing online, like good riddance and rest in piss and all that other stuff. That just says a lot about our culture, like, and social media's influence as well. Like, if we don't have respect for each other, why should we expect other people to have respect for us out here in these streets? Exactly. Like, that's like, he didn't do anything. He didn't kill nobody. He didn't go slash nobody's tires. He didn't go murder anyone, beat anybody up. He didn't do any of that.
But that's another thing. What did this guy say that was actually wrong? Did he say anything that was incorrect? Did this man say anything that was incorrect? Nobody could point out to the stuff that was incorrect from this man's mouth. And here's another thing too. This is another thing that adds to the conspiracy of why like the motive. What would be the motive? Like why would somebody want to take this guy out and of the elite status? Why would somebody want the elite class? Why would somebody from that class want to target Kevin Samuels, right? Well, here's the thing. A lot of people know from his fan base know that Kevin Samuels will often quote that blackdemographic.com website, right?
Mm-hmm.
What a lot of people don't know is that
they took information off of it.
They would take the information off the website that Kevin Samuels made popular. And I believe it's ran by two black guys. I can't remember their name on the top of my head, but I thought that was a strange coincidence that they will remove the information that Kevin Samuels made popular. Once he blew up, they removed it from their website. So you can't find a lot of those numbers that he would often mention. You can't find those numbers on their website no more. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, here's
what an example.
Like you can't find the number of black men that are single and childless. But here's the thing. Recently, this is why it's even bigger than just those blackdemographic.com, because I don't know those two brothers there. But that I just think that was very suspicious as well. But the Census Bureau, the U.S. Census Bureau, also did a article recently with dealing with fertility. They had a chart with numbers dealing with the fertility. They showed the number of black men. They showed them by race and different races, and the number of men who have children. The total number of men who have children by race. They showed it by race.
Mm-hmm.
And from those numbers, we can do our own calculations for for the number of black men who don't have kids compared to the ones who do have kids. And on top of that, from those numbers that they gave us, you could also see that, like oftentimes Kevin Samuels say that 16 to 20% of 16 to 20% of black men make up 80% of the black children, make 80% of the black children in the black community. You know, a lot of the black children come from, like, I call them the 18%. 80% of the black children are made by the 18% of the black men. You know what I'm saying? But what's funny is that the Census Bureau censored that article after many of his fans pointed out some of the data from that article, was able to pinpoint the number of black men that are childless, because it's often black men are often stereotyped as being deadbeat dads and all the kind of crap like that. But honestly, a lot of black men don't have kids. Over half of black men do not have kids. So half of black men don't have kids, and a good chunk of the black men that do have kids are married, so they're not single parents, just shit like that. They're actually married, and the vast majority of the children that are raised without the vast majority of the children, black children that are raised by single parents, are produced by the 18% of black men. So that stereotype don't hold any water, really, when you actually look at the data. But what's funny is that the U.S. government censored that data. Nobody talks about that. The same data that Kevin Samuels was using and could use and back up his statements, they totally wiped that off their website. You can't find that stuff anywhere now. Yeah,
that's a shame.
So that's more red flags there. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the one thing a lot of people will say, like, where's your data? Where's your data? Where's your data? Because it's easy to dismiss the counter arguments when you have to back it up with some data that's only available from certain sources that also are against you.
Right. So,
but I'm gonna wrap this video up. I'm glad to be back on the YouTube. I'm gonna do some more videos on a regular basis. Thanks for having my guests here, Jazzy. But thanks again, everybody. Have a good night.
Thanks.